Keeping track of your things can be very hard sometimes, even if you carry everything that you own in just one backpack or suitcase. That's why this video is all about the easiest way how you can keep track of your things for your one bag life. And at the end of the video, I will give you my single best tip on which tool is the best by far to keep track of your things for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one bag life. So don't miss out. For all of you who are new to my channel, I'm Sven, just an extreme minimalist with less than 150 possessions, whose biggest desire is to live his whole life out of just one carry-on sized backpack. So if you end up liking the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with your thoughts at the end of the video and join me on my journey towards a true one bag life and to find out how an extreme minimalist lifestyle looks like. And also, don't forget about the weekly one bag life community post that is posted with this video. But I would say, let's get started. Do you know the feeling when you want to prepare your bag or suitcase for the next trip or vacation and you ask yourself, do I actually have everything that I need for this trip, or do I need something else or buy something new? I was in this situation many times, and especially when I start making plans, I start planning out what do I need, what can I bring, what do I have, or what do I need more. It is very important, especially for a one bag life, when you have everything that you live with in just one bag or suitcase, that you know what to bring and especially what you have. That's why I needed to find a system that is very easy and simple to keep track of everything that I own and I want to put in my bag for my one bag life so I don't forget anything. Start by making a list for your one bag life. Note down really everything that you own except I would say 3 things. The first thing is furniture, so maybe desk or your bed or whatever. This will be part of another story. The second thing is collectively used items if you are not living alone. So everything that you would share with another person when you are, as I said, not living alone. And the third thing is everything you would find in a fully furnished apartment or a hotel room, like kitchenware, like bedding, or everything related to a bed. So everything you can find almost everywhere you would go if you wouldn't live at home. After you listed everything that you currently own, it's time to categorize these things. And I think the most common way to categorize is like clothes, tech, accessories, and maybe other items. But maybe you have very different categories or additional ones like sentimental items or whatever else it is. Just make sure that you find a category for every item, which will be very important afterwards. And if you have something or multiple items that you don't know in which category to put, just make an other category or a very funny category name, whatever you want to do in the end. But just make sure that you can categorize everything, even your important documents. The next step would be to count every single item in a very reasonable way. And when I say reasonable way, I think that is the most important thing. So I personally count shoes or pair of shoes as 1, but 2 pair of shoes are 2 items. And especially when it comes to maybe, I think toiletries, it can be sometimes very tricky, because I personally count my toothbrush, like the handle and the brush head, as 1 item, because I can't use either one alone in a very serious way, so this will be 1 item, but the charging cord will be a separate item, so this will be 2 items. So you need to find a very reasonable and good way to count your items, especially you are not being too nitpicky about everything. But on the other hand, try not to oversimplify everything, because maybe you would count your phone and your case and your charger for a phone as 1 item, but I honestly would say that these are 3 items, just because you can use everything separately and you don't even need something like that to use your phone when it's fully charged. So as I said, try to find a way for your own that it's reasonable for you, but also don't be too nitpicky, but on the other hand, don't just throw everything very simple in one big category. And now it's time to lay every category of things down on the floor, so it makes it much easier for you to visualize how much stuff you actually have in each of the categories. That is, in my opinion, especially important when you think about getting rid of something or what you actually want to put in your bag. Because when you can visualize what you have in each category of things, then you can say, oh, maybe I have too many clothes, so I need to get rid of some clothes. Or maybe your tech category is very big. So you need to try to find a way to visualize how much stuff you actually have in every category, so you can make a good decision where to get rid of something and what you want to put in your bag, especially if you're trying to pursue a one bag life. And lastly, it's time to mark everything you want to get rid of or you want to change in your list. So if you're using a digital list, maybe you can try another color or whatever else. Just make sure that you can find a way how you can keep track of the things you especially want to get rid of or you want to change for another thing. Because that will be the most important task once you have your list, to make the list better or to make it more simple or to declutter it or whatever else you want to do with it. Just try to find a system where you can see at the first sight what you want to get rid of, what you want to keep, or what you want to change. So you always know what to do next with your things, especially for a one bag life, to save as much space and volume as you can. So if you can see, I'm here in my own list, and I know it's in German, but it's just to show you what I do or what I meant with the things I mentioned before. So as you see, the first column are the categories of things. So I have clothes, I have tech, I have toiletries, I have others, and I have important documents. So this is the time where I categorized everything in step 2, and I made even, I would say, smaller categories like tops and bottoms and accessories when it comes to clothes. So I try to break it down even more than just these broad categories of clothes or tech. The next column is the actual piece or actual thing that is in that category. So I have here the category of clothes, and then I have tops, and then I have like t-shirts, shirts, hoodies, rain jacket. So it's the actual thing that I'm trying to get down here in this list. And one thing more I already mentioned, like the last thing that I mentioned, that you should mark everything that you want to get rid of or change. I actually mark these things very slightly, so you can see like shirts is written in a normal way, shirts or normal like clothes or dress shirts is inverted. So this means I will change something about these things. And in this case, you can see there are 2, and I will change it down to 1. And the other thing is when I cross out something, then I will get rid of it. So I have this zipper trousers down here. I don't need them anymore since I'm here back home. So I will get rid of them. And now I can see directly what I have to do next. So this is the thing about this column. And the last one is just the amount of things, as you can imagine. So I have 2 shirts, 2 dress shirts, 2 pairs of socks and everything. So it is just like the amount of things. And I also write down the amount of things under the categories category. So you can see tops is 8. So I try to keep track of how many tops, how many bottoms I have. This comes like from the visualization I mentioned before. So this is that. And also I have always like accumulated numbers. So 27 is the amount of clothes that I actually have at the moment. So this is everything for clothes, for tech, and also for toiletries. And in the end, you can see it's a total about 80, which is not currently the state where I am because I'm already selling or donating a lot of things, but 80 would be the things if I have sold and donated everything that I have lying around here at the moment. So this is around the number that I'm aiming for. And the last thing I want to mention is the thing that you should count some things in your personal way. And you can see this is actually the microphone I'm using right now, or using for making these videos, the DJI Mic Mini. And I count it as 10 items because it is just a thing that I would say, yes, I can use it without anything. That's why I count it as 1. But if you look at the box, you can see exactly what accessories are in there, and that is 10. But I don't write down 10 like in a list where you go down everything. So I just write down 10. The same goes for my razor because I just use it with this accessory. So I wrote down 4 for the razor. So that's how my list looks like at the moment. As you can see, it can be as simple as just making or having a list to keep track of everything that you have for your one bag life. For me personally, it was the best decision ever to spend the time making a list, finding a system that works for me, because it makes my personal one bag life so much easier, and I know at every point in time what I have, what I need, or maybe what I want to get rid of. So for me, such a system with such a list is maybe the one single most important thing that I have for my one bag life to keep track of everything. But now that you know how you can easily keep track of everything in your one bag life, here is my single best tip, on the tool that is best for keeping track of everything for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. It's Google Sheets. I personally think that Google Sheets is the single best tool that you can use to keep almost track of everything, no matter if it's your one-bag life, no matter if it's your packing list for your next vacation or holiday, or everything else you need to track down in different things. Because first of all, it's free for most people, because I think most people will have a Google account. It's very easy to use and it has a lot of functionality in it. So it's a tool that I would highly recommend using, because I use it myself for years now, and it's so easy to keep track of everything. It will calculate everything for you. And if you are making lists, as I said, no matter if it's a one-bag life, no matter if it's a packing list for your next vacation, it is maybe the single most easiest and especially free tool to use, because I honestly think, especially when it comes to packing lists or something, you shouldn't spend any money on some fancy tools or whatever, because in the end you just need a list that works for you, that it's maybe compatible with multiple devices via cloud. So just find a tool that it's free, and in my opinion the best one is Google Sheets. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with the way how you are currently keeping track of your things. The next video will be about the furniture that I keep even while I'm pursuing a one-bag life. In the meantime, you can watch my last video where I show you the easiest way how you can save weight in your bag or suitcase. And don't forget about the weekly one-bag life community post that is posted with this video. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.